Hello and welcome to our third meeting for the Light Body Manifestation Program. And this is Mercedes Kirkel, and I am very glad to be here with all of you. So, I wanted to start today with a check-in and see how people were doing with some of the practices that we introduced last week. And the first one that I want to start checking in on is relative to the angel and how people, what people have experienced or noticed relative to connecting with their angel. So if anyone is open to sharing, just go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead.
So with the angel, I was able last Wednesday to really feel it's a hymn coming in. And then on Thursday morning, I realized that that hole that I always have had inside me was now much more full. So it was really a good experience. And I felt that I was more prepared to move forward. Yeah, very nice.
Thank you so much. I feel this great heart warmth hearing your sharing. Thank you. Anyone else want to share their experiences with their angel this week or any part of it? Did people feel like they were able to connect with their angel?
This is Joy. I don't know that I sort of really consciously felt a connection with my angel, but as far as the practices go, some other practices totally related to the root chakra and the sacred. I want to say anyways, that area came through. So it's just like a synchronicity, all happening at the same time. And so that it was all very helpful for me, being aware of that area. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Anyone else have troubles or problems connecting with their angel?
Hi. I don't know if it's so much problems. I mean, I felt this, the presence, but I felt like I wanted to be able to communicate somehow and couldn't. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So anyways.
And one of the things to know about higher beings in general is that their primary form of communication is not language the way we know it and verbalness. They do that for our benefit so that we can connect with them. But their primary form of communication is, I'm totally forgetting the word, mind to mind. There's a word for that and I'm totally forgetting it.
Telepathy.
Telepathy, thank you. Telepathic, yes. So they may or may not choose to communicate in verbal ways or in visual ways, and also all of us have our predisposition to experience things kinesthetically or visually or auditorially or just through an inner knowing. And so there can be all different forms. Yeah. Anything else about the angel? Anybody else would like to share? Anything with their experience or anything? Okay. Um, I came across a video clip this week that to me really related to the work we're doing. And I loved this video clip. And I want to share a portion of it with you right now. And this is someone who was interviewing Louise Hay. And for those of you, probably a lot of people are already familiar with Louise Hay, but she is an author and she's in her 80s now, and she's kind of the grandmother and one of the grandmothers of the New Age spiritual movement. And she wrote the book Heal Your Body, which is very much about like letting our body speak to us and tell us what's going on through really connecting with our body. And in this particular interview, and then she started a publishing company, which is Hay House, which publishes New Age books and spiritually oriented books. And in this interview, she's being interviewed by one of the Hay House authors about tapping. And she's talking about how she's fairly recently been introduced to tapping, which some people know as EFT, and how I was so impressed on so many levels with her her interview and what she presented. She just seemed so open and so humble, and her approach to this was she was excited to find out about it, and she was very open about, you know, that she's still learning, and she's learning how to work with this. And so in this interview, the author did a tapping session with her on an issue that was a continuation. They had done it once previously, and she had experienced some relief, but not complete. And so they did this tapping, and she said she's experienced some more relief, but not complete. And he invited her to kind of do her process. And so this clip I want to show you is her process. And what I love about it is, first of all, she's doing the tapping, which if you're not familiar with it, you'll see her tapping different points on her body. And she talks about how she loves that it's a very bodily process, and it's a way of healing directly through our body. And that to me really relates to what we're talking about with the root chakra and connecting with our physical body. The second thing is that she very clearly identifies her feelings and what's going on with her in her feelings. And what you'll hear as she does this, give me just a minute. She talks about her feelings of fear, of terror, of helplessness, of loneliness. She's basically remembering a childhood. Earlier in the interview, she tells what the stimulus is, which is she's remembering a childhood incident where her stepfather was punishing her by holding her underwater. And it was terrifying for her. And so she's very clear about her emotions, and she starts with the emotions. Louise Hay is especially known for affirmations. And a lot of people have taken her work as meaning, just focus on the positive, affirm what you want. And she's very clear, no, you have to start out with the real of what's happening now. And she very clearly identifies her emotions. And then she takes it very clearly into what I would call her inner divine qualities. And you'll hear her talking about protection, safety, freedom, love. And she's doing this with her angel. She tapped right into going to her angel. And to me, this part of the clip was very, very moving. They set it to music, and of course the music helps, you know, set the stage. And I like to think it helps us to feel kind of what she was connecting to on the inside. But I'd like to share this as a demonstration of someone who was making a really strong connection with their angel in a way that to me so aligns with the work we're doing of working through our bodies, our emotions, and our inner divine qualities. So I'm going to share this now, and then I'd love to hear any feedback anyone has afterwards. Oops, excuse me. Oops, I need to do one thing before I do this. I haven't ever done this before of sharing a video, and there's there's a thing I have to click on to share the sound. And okay, now it should be good. Oh no. I'm sorry, I have to do something here. I hope this works. Okay. If anyone cannot hear this, please feel free to let me know while we're watching it. It's only about a minute long. So hopefully everyone will be able to see it and hear it.
I love you, buddy.
Oops. I'm so sorry. I got the wrong. This is definitely not what I want to be looking at. Okay. Oops. Three's the charm. Hopefully this will work this time. Okay. Let me try it again. Share screen. Louise Hay. Okay. No, I don't know why it's showing this. This is not what I was watching. This is what is the next one up, and I'm frustrated. Okay, let me. I don't know how to get out of this. Well, hold on a second. I'm not going to. No, this is not what I want. I'm going to go back. Nope, this is not.
I love you, buddy.
Okay, hold on. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope I can find it because it was really worth watching. Give me just a minute here. I'm sorry, this is taking me a minute. Okay, I'm going to try again. See if I can do it. Okay, I think I got it.
You know, angel. We all have angels, and you have a special angel that is your own. And in spite of all that you have gone through, this angel has taken care of you and protected you all your life. And you can call on this angel now to help resolve the rest of this issue. The rest of this issue of pain and fear, this issue of being terrorized by life, this issue of being helpless and not being able to have anybody take care of you, feeling all alone and frightened. But you have an angel now, and you know this angel is here. And this angel can cure. This angel is with you. This angel will protect you for the rest of your life. It will dissolve any issues that you've been through. It's time for you to be free now. You can run and dance and play and be who you were meant to be. Be who you were born to be. You are safe now. It's safe to feel safe. It's safe to be safe. It's safe to let go. There's a great freedom and a great love surrounds you. And all is truly well in your life now. And so it is.
And so it is.
Okay. I am guessing that you were only able to hear that and not see that. Is that accurate? I'm disappointed because I really wanted to share the whole thing. If people would like, I can try again and see if we can do the video with the audio. Would you like to see it along with hear it? Let's try it one more time and see if we can do that. I'm going to have to rewind it, so give me a minute to get back to it, to rewind it. But I think it's worth it.
It will dissolve.
Okay.
I was 5 years old and I felt so much terror. What would be the positive affirmation for that?
Okay, all right.
Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Can people see the screen now? You'll have to unmute yourself because I can't see you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
can see it.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to play it one more time.
You know you have an angel. We all have angels, and you have a special angel that is your own. And in spite of all that you have gone through, this angel has taken care of you and protected you all your life. And you can call on this angel now to help dissolve the rest of this issue.
Go to the other point.
The rest of this issue of pain and fear, this issue of being terrorized by life, this issue of being helpless and not being able to have anybody take care of you, feeling all alone and frightened. But you have an angel now, and you know this angel is here. This angel can cure. This angel is with you. This angel will protect you for the rest of your life. It will dissolve any issues that you've been through. It's time for you to be free now. You can run and dance and play and be who you were meant to be who you were born to be. You are safe now. It's safe to feel safe. It's safe to be safe. It's safe to let go. There's a great freedom and a great love surrounds you. And all is truly well in your life now. And so it is.
And so it is.
Oh, that was interesting.
That was beautiful.
So any comments, responses to watching that video?
I just want to say I loved it. I love because I've done tapping before, but I loved how she's the angel in it. That was really beautiful.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually, when we listened to it the first time, I really felt it was almost more powerful just listening to it. But yeah, it was pretty moving actually, just to kind of listen to that process of going, from where she started to where she ended up.
Yep. That reassures me and about what the process I went through and trying to be able to play that maybe there was a purpose in playing it twice, and one time just the audio and one time with the video. Thank you. Anyone else want to share anything that came up through listening to that, watching it?
Hi, this is Rajender. Yeah, I was kind of rushed coming from one thing to the other, so it just kind of relaxed me and let me kind of move into my centeredness, which was good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. Any other comments anyone wants to share? Well, I hope that helps people in opening the field, perhaps for you, of possibilities for connecting with your angel, perhaps other ways, other things you might do in relationship with your angel. And also, I just felt like it was a great demonstration of the depth. I felt like she offered so much depth of connecting with her feelings and letting that follow the stream into her inner divine qualities. And I sensed, her connection with her angel totally supporting that and really appreciated it. So the other thing I just want to check in is about other practices that we did this week. I heard a little bit already, and that's great. And if anybody else wants to share, especially about connecting with the root chakra, and also about the practice with the tree and what you experienced in connecting with a tree. So anybody have anything they'd like to share about any of that?
I'll share. So I just wanted to say, like, connecting to the root chakra every day, I just felt so much more connected to the earth, but also my body. Like, I felt so like in my body. And that was really cool because it was like in it, and then, not somewhere, but I was like, wow, like I'm in this body, and just like loving it, like actually loving it. So that felt really good. And then the tree, I love trees. So I'm always like, I hug, like when I'm walking, I'm like, no one's looking, I'm going to hug the tree. And it just feels like so grounding, and like the energy flow between you just feels so beautiful. So I love that practice. So I loved both of them. And I just felt so much more like embodied, and that felt really safe. Which, yeah, so.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Anyone else have experiences from this week of connecting with your root chakra, connecting with the tree that you're open to sharing?
Hi, it's Rajender again. Yes, I was able to move the breath more easily into the root chakra with the practice we were doing. And I just asked the angel to remove any blocks. I didn't really get into what the blocks were about. And it was interesting. We have snow here, so I went to cross-country ski, and I sat down and put my back against the tree. So I said, do you have a message? Of course, I didn't take my shoes off. But did you take the skis off anyway? And the tree says restfulness. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm out here like really working hard doing this exercise, and the tree is telling me restfulness. Okay. So I didn't go further than the tree. I turned around, went back, and I didn't do anything the next day. So that was good.
Oh,
Listen, yeah, it was good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else have anything they'd like to share?
With the root chakra exercise, I felt definitely also much more connected to my body. I had got my period this week, and I was really grateful for my period. And I did the breathing exercises, and I don't know, it just felt like a better period, a better flow overall. I don't know if it correlated or not, but and then with the tree exercise, I have this big grapefruit tree in my backyard, and that's where I sat at my grapefruit tree. And it was interesting because all I could focus was the downward roots. I couldn't, even though I was resting on the tree, I couldn't focus or the energy wasn't so much the up as it was really the roots that I could feel. And I just had this overwhelming sense of gratitude, not only for the tree, but just for everything after that experience. Just really, really grateful.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, I really value hearing people's experiences and connecting what you're going through. And this is going to be a part of what we'll do every week, is in the beginning, catch up about what people have experienced during the week. And if you have questions, this is a time when you can ask questions and definitely share experiences. And it's really valuable for me, and I think nice for all of us to hear each other and connect in this way with what we're going through. So thank you. So this week is our second week of working with the root chakra. And our specific focus this week is healing body shame. And this is something that Mary Magdalene focused on quite specifically in Mary Magdalene Beckons. And what I want to do is read together a section from Mary Magdalene Beckons. This is from chapter 2, called Loving Your Body, Sexuality, and Emotions, and where she's talking about shame and the importance of healing shame. And so I want to go into this and actually read it together and talk about what I'm really hearing that she's saying. Because one of the things with Mary, and one of the things that she wanted me to help people with, was I learned through getting messages from her initially that she talks in this extremely condensed way where every sentence is full. It's like potent with meaning, even levels of meaning. And so she uses it, talk about efficacy. She uses, words and sentences in this, and extremely, it's kind of like when you take a file and put it in zip form, it's like it's very compressed, but there's so much in it, and it can be a lot in just a few sentences. So I think it's really valuable to break it down and even look at it sentence by sentence and talk about what she's really saying. And it's one of the things she asked me to help people with. To actually do that. She said to spread it out and break it down so that we could really get everything that she was trying to communicate. So I'm going to go back into screen sharing mode here and call up slides. So hopefully everyone can see this. And this is our week 2 of working with the root chakra. And we're going to start with this quote from Mary Magdalene Beckons. So can everyone see the quote on their screen? Just nod your head yes if you can see it. Can people see the quote? I'm not seeing any yeses or nos. Okay, I see 1 yes, 2 yeses. Okay, thumbs up, great, all right. So what I want to do is and I'm not exactly sure how we're going to orchestrate this, but I have trust that we can. I want to do it where one person at a time reads each sentence. And so I want to kind of come up with an order and ask if you'll follow this order. So if we could do it in this order, where I'm going to go through with what I'm seeing right now on my screen, which is Jennifer first, and then Rajinder second, Joy third, Marie fourth, and Michelle fifth. Is there anybody that I missed? I think I got everybody. Okay, so starting with Jennifer, just read the part that's in purple. So unmute yourself and read that, and then we'll go to the next person.
You must fall in love again with your body, your feelings, your emotions, your heart, and all this must be directed by a loving will.
Thank you. Okay, Joy.
It's Rajender next. Can you move the slides to, can you move the slides to the left a little bit? I got the pictures of the people over I don't know how to get out of that.
Oh, you can move the pictures. Like I moved them to the other side by just like sliding it over.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was happening to me too.
Okay, so Rajinder, you're next. And you might be muted because I'm not hearing anything. Hopefully I didn't mute you. unmute. Nope. Okay, I'm not hearing Rajinder and I'm stuck again. Oh, this is so frustrating.
Do you want me to go and then she could go when she comes back on?
Thank you, Joy. That would be wonderful.
This is the platform or foundation for opening to the higher realms of beauty and light that you so long for.
Thank you. Okay. Rajinder, do you want to see if you can unmute yourself and read this one?
I cannot, it's so fuzzy, I can't read it.
Okay. Well,
sorry. Came back up really fuzzy for me, so just skip it and I'll listen.
Okay, thank you. So I forget who I said next.
Maria,
Okay.
I call you to this and assure you that it is worth it. It is so beautiful and joyful here.
Thank you. And Michelle? Can you unmute yourself?
Okay. And in this place, you will unite with your sacred mind, your beloved partner in wholeness, which is what is mirrored and reflected in your lower mind, but never satisfied there.
Thank you. So I want to go back and talk about each of these briefly. So she says, you must fall in love again with your body, your feelings, your emotions, your heart. So here she's talking about our first and second chakra. Body is first chakra, feelings and emotions is second chakra, as the foundation for our heart. And all this must be directed by a loving will. So the loving will is our third chakra, which is supporting us in this process. And she says this is the platform or foundation for not only going into our heart, but opening to the higher realms of beauty and light that you so long for. So this is the idea that opening what some people see as the lower, the root chakra and the sacral chakra is what is going to open us to the upper, that as below, so above. And it's really essential. And the way to have the wholeness that we want is by starting at the base, starting at the foundations. I call you to this and assure you that it is worth it. It is so beautiful and joyful here. So what I hear is she's reassuring us because so many people have so much resistance to opening at their root chakra and the sacral chakra, the second chakra, because there's pain there. And part of the pain is that we carry shame. And she's saying it's really worth it to do it because the result is going to be so much beauty and so much joy. And in this place, you will unite with your sacred mind, your beloved partner in wholeness, which is what is mirrored and reflected in your lower mind, but never satisfied there. So what I hear her saying is this, that this is the solution to what so many people long for, of getting what they call getting out of their mind. But what she's saying is it's not about getting out of your mind, it's being able to connect beyond your lower mind into what she calls your sacred mind. And that pathway is through starting with our first two chakras. And that's where this beautiful wholeness of uniting with our partner that is inherent to us and that we have an inherent longing for, that's how this process will happen. So she's kind of lighting the way of where this is all leading. Any questions about any of that before I go on?
I don't know if I'm really clear on this idea of the sacred mind. I don't know if you could.
Yes,
a little more.
The sacred mind is what opens up for us at our sixth chakra.
Okay.
And this is our higher mind of relating to pure consciousness and also connecting to our higher mind functions, such as, opening up the psychic functions and being telepathic and those kinds of things, as opposed to what she says the lower mind is our rational thinking mind and our subconscious mind. Subconscious mind being things like instinct, memories, beliefs, and the rational mind being our everyday kind of thinking mind. That's what she would call our lower mind. And then the sacred mind is the higher, it's the higher frequencies of mind, which open up once our heart is open. Is that helpful and clarifying?
Hi, it's Rajender. I have a question too.
Okay.
Could you, for my benefit, the training I've had, relate to this, the concept of transmuting the energy from the lower chakras to the higher, and how this, I know it goes together, I'm not understanding that.
Well, I'm not exactly familiar with the training you've had, so I'll do my best, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be exactly addressing what you're talking about. But many spiritual paths that are more oriented towards the masculine, exclusive of the feminine, are based on the idea that there's something wrong with these lower energies, that we have to kind of transmute them, meaning somehow purify them or redirect them, get out of them somehow. And this is one of the big differences with what Mary Magdalene is bringing forth, is she's saying we open to them and embrace them, that they're a gift, they're part of our wholeness, that we don't have to be afraid of them, we don't have to fix them, there's nothing wrong with them. And in fact, the main problem that most of us have, which we've developed through these kinds of trainings and teachings that have trained us that something is wrong or bad about these, the main problem that we have is sort of releasing that training and learning to trust and open to our first and second chakras, and then learning the healthy development of them. So it's not like, it's like instead of the training that most of us received, which is there's something the matter with this and you have to change it and go away from it and do something else with it. Instead, it's like releasing that and learning a different training. There is skill involved, but it starts with just being able to connect and open to, and then...
Thank you. That's helpful. Thanks.
Great. Thank you. Okay.
I just have a quick question. So is the sacred mind and the higher self the same thing, or are they different?
They're different.
They're different. Okay, then I understand. Okay.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Thank you for your questions. So now I want to go on to the next section of this reading. And let's start over again. And I think we started with, I'm not sure who we started with. Did we start with Jennifer? I think we started with Jennifer. So let's start again.
It is good that you have developed your mind.
Joy.
What you suffer is that you have not developed the other parts of your lower being in balance, and so you are out of balance.
Maria. You may need to...
Now you have become used to a mind-dominated existence.
Michelle.
So you require rebalancing in order to continue on your path of growth and opening.
Jennifer.
It is not enough to only quiet your mind.
Joy. You might need to unmute yourself.
You must also strengthen and grow the other parts of yourself that are needed for wholeness.
Thank you. So let's do the same thing and look at these one at a time. Well, a few at a time. Because these go together, so I group these together. First of all, she's saying it's good that you have developed your mind. So some people feel like the mind is the problem and you have to kind of get away with your mind, get away from your mind or something, or, you know, oh, we shouldn't have developed our mind so much. She said, no, it's wonderful how well we've developed our mind. And then what we're suffering is that we have not developed the other parts, our first and second chakra, feminine parts, in balance. And that's why we're out of balance. So that's why we have become used to a mind-dominated existence. So in other words, it's not like we have to fix our mind that's dominating. What we have to do is strengthen the other parts so that they come into balance. And that's exactly what she goes on to say. So you require rebalancing in order to continue on your path of growth and opening. And she says, it's not enough to only quiet your mind. And that's another part of what some spiritual processes, especially that are more oriented to the masculine, really focus on, is how do we quiet our mind? So, and it's, you know, to come into balance. And she says, that's not enough. We also have to strengthen and grow our feminine, the other parts of ourselves, to be whole. Any questions about that piece, this section here, this paragraph? Okay, let's go on. So I think we stopped with Joy, so let's go with Maria beginning here.
There is the physical body.
And Michelle? Unmute.
I don't know what just happened there. Okay. There is already a great deal of information and help available relative to becoming healthy in the physical body, eating well, exercising, healing illnesses, and so on.
And Jennifer.
The parts that many of you now need are two things. Both are about loving your bodies.
Thank you. So this first part, she's saying the first thing that, you know, the first part of coming back into this rebalancing is looking at the physical body. And she says these things that most of us are already quite aware of, she says they're important. She's not going into them because what she says is, for the most part, there's so much information available that we don't need more information. We're already well schooled in what we need to do. We may need to take action, but we don't need more information or guidance. And this is relative to things like diet, exercise, healing physical illnesses, those parts of supporting our physical. But she says there's two other parts. And this week, we're only going to be looking, oops, I'm going to highlight that, these two other parts. This week, we're only going to be looking at the first part, which is healing shame relative to our physical body. The other one is relative to healing shame relative to our sexuality. And that's what we'll be getting into in 2 weeks, where we're looking at the second chakra and all the parts of strengthening that chakra. So for this week, we're just looking at the first of these. So let's go on. I totally don't remember. Oh, I think it's Joy's turn, but I'm not positive. But Joy, you want to begin?
Sure. The first is to relate to your body as a sacred temple, a beautiful manifestation of God.
And Maria?
This is difficult for many of you who have shame about your body, feel that something is wrong with your body, or feel that it's ugly or sinful or just not right.
And Michelle?
Mercedes, I can't see the words anymore. I don't know why. I can just see the people. Like, I don't see. I don't know what happens. Like, it seems like everyone else can.
On my screen, I have options of how I see the people, and I can minimize, and it may be usually it's on the top right of my screen, but right now, for whatever reason, it's on the bottom left of my screen.
Oh, okay.
I can see the way that I view, and I can move that around. And there's one that's
Let me see.
minimized. Does that help?
Okay, I can see it now. This is good. I can see it. Okay.
Okay.
You don't feel this way about a flower.
And Jennifer?
You don't feel this way about a pet.
And Joy?
You probably don't feel this way about your friends.
Thank you. So this is one of my favorite images relative to our body, is the image of our body as a sacred temple, a beautiful manifestation of God. And I would really like to invite all of you to take a moment right now to close your eyes and visualize what that looks like to you, a sacred temple, a beautiful manifestation of God. Maybe it's the Taj Mahal. Maybe it's a different image of a temple, to really get that image clearly. And then to somehow connect that with your body. Bring your body into that image, however works for you, that you can feel your body as the same kind of sacred temple. A beautiful manifestation of God. And see if there's some way you want to anchor that into your body. Maybe you want to connect that to your heart or your root chakra. See if there's a way you'd like to keep that image in your body, that you can come back to it whenever you want. And then gently reopen your eyes, come back into our virtual class space here. And would anyone like to share anything about their sacred temple that they visualized?
So before you said Taj Mahal, I was thinking Taj Mahal. Had to laugh. And so I was, and then also sort of a great temple, and then I sort of blew myself up and sort of imposed myself on top of each of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then sort of, and also with the tree, I was doing multiple temples. And then sort of shrunk down the Taj Mahal and my root chakra. And that's how I anchored it.
Thank you so much. Anyone else want to share?
I wanted to see like a church or a temple, like how you were talking about the Taj Mahal, but what I got was those sacred the caves, the old caves of maybe the images that you have on your site from the France trip. And so I kept on seeing this cave, and then the feeling that I got was this awareness, like being really conscious of what you would bring into the cave. Like, what, you would be really aware of what you were bringing in. I don't know, I'll explain that. So then, and then I kind of did a scan when you said to where it would kind of, where it would be held within my body. So I kind of scanned up and down, but the space that felt right was in kind of my womb area.
Yes. Yes. Caves are like wombs of Mother Earth. So, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. And anyone else?
Yeah, for me it was more when I visited Napa Valley. I really liked how the redwoods there make like clearings, and you see like what I feel like a family of trees around it.
Yes.
And yeah, I can't remember the name of it. And I also and I see myself dancing there. So yeah, that for me is what I think of a temple.
Thank you. That's very strong for me too. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, when I closed my eyes, it was interesting because I was like trying to like think temple, but really what I saw was just like my body just like adorned with like all these crystals and jewels. So I was like, oh, that felt good.
So your body was the temple.
So my body actually was the temple. Mm-hmm.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And of course, going back to the Taj Mahal, was built by this Shah for the love of his wife, and it's a temple to the feminine. So it's one of the reasons why I like that image. But I love the images everyone came up with, and I also often picture a temple in ancient Egypt. That's my version of a temple of Isis. That's another image that comes up for me very strongly. So this next one, she says, this is difficult for many of you who have shame about your body, feel that something is wrong with your body, or feel that it's ugly or sinful or just not right. So this is something that so many people have and carry with them. And if you do, you're not at all alone, because it's carried, unfortunately, in our culture, and it's something that so many people are trained into at a very, very young age. Sometimes we don't even realize how deep it goes. But this is one of the things that is a major block to opening our root chakra and being able to fully go into our energetic heart, is this feeling of something's the matter with my body, it's ugly, sinful, or just not right. And for a lot of us, this takes the form of I'm too thin, I'm too fat, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I don't like this part of me, I don't like that part of me, all those different kinds of things. I have too many wrinkles, whatever it is, my hair isn't right. The list can be quite long and can cover many, many things. And then she goes into this next part that I really love, where she says, you don't feel this way about a flower. You don't feel this way about a pet. You don't feel this way about your friends. And all of these are opportunities for us to think about, like if you think about a flower, you're not thinking, oh, that flower's the wrong size, or it's too fat, or it's too thin. It's that when we look at a flower, we just like totally accept the flower the way it is. And most of us feel like that's beautiful, just the way it is. We don't necessarily have some image of perfection of it should be this, and if it's not this, then it's not right. We have this natural acceptance, and most of us feel very connected and fed by the image of a flower. Another one and these are kind of ways of connecting to our heart with deep acceptance. Another one is around a pet. When you see a pet, especially if you have a relationship with a pet and love that pet, you don't tend to think that pet is ugly, or that pet is sinful, or just not right. Even if you might think the pet is overweight, which, sometimes pets are what we consider overweight. We think it would be more optimal if they carried less weight or whatever. we still don't have this judgment about them, that there's something bad or wrong with them. We see beauty when we see a pet, for most of us. And then she took it more, the third time here, she took it more to how we feel about our friends. When you see your friends, and especially if you ever see a friend unclothed, maybe you go swimming with a friend and you're in the locker room and you see them naked, or for whatever reason, you might see a friend more in their just natural physical body. And you probably don't have the same judgments about your friends that you might have about yourself. Even if you can see, oh yes, they carry a little weight around their stomach, or yes, they have wrinkles, or they're not like the model in Vogue magazine. And so it's not that you're unrealistic about them, but you still see their beauty. You don't see them as ugly or sinful or not right in a fundamental way. And that's what she's pointing to, as we could relate to ourselves in just this same way. So I'd like to hear if anything comes up for anybody about all of this, because I think this might be touching on some really deep and possibly very tender things. And I'd just like to make space if there's anything anybody wants to say about this.
So when I read this, my mind goes, yeah, sure, everything she says is right. But it doesn't go further than that.
Mm-hmm. It's more.
My beliefs about myself I know, they're just cast in stone.
Yes. Well, could we soften that to maybe, something a little more malleable?
Okay.
They're cast in clay or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And I really appreciate you bringing that out, because from my point of view, it's not enough to just change our ideas. We're still coming from our mind. And what I hear Mary doing here is she's setting the stage, and she's about to go into how to work with this as a practice. And that's where we're going to go next. So thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else have anything they want to say, or any questions?
Well, I'll share about this. I had an eating disorder for a really long time. So this is something that I really know so much about, because I was determined to love and accept my body. Like, I was just determined to do that. And, through a lot of work that I did do that. Now I actually work with other women who have eating disorders to do the same thing. So, because I always feel that, like, the way I felt about my body and then the way I feel about it now, like, I just love it so much, and I'm so grateful. So I feel like anyone can truly love their body, because it's just like a decision, and it's like we think about it with our mind all the time, and it seems so hard. But when you love something, like, you hug it, like, you caress it, like, you just like infuse the energy of love into it. And this is like really close to my heart. So I love this.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think that's really valuable to hear a very strong and personal testimony that it is possible to change. And what I hear you talking about loving and touching our body, is exactly the practices we're going to go into. So I feel really excited about that. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, let's go to the next part. And I've totally forgotten whose turn it is, so you're going to have to help me. Hopefully you'll remember. Does anyone remember who goes next?
Maybe me.
Okay.
So you must learn to love your body. I guess she doesn't leave us any other choice. Okay.
I think it's
I hear it. I hear it.
You got to read that one, Maria. I love it. Okay, so Michelle.
Look at it with love.
And Jennifer?
This can be done in front of a mirror as an actual practice.
And Joy?
You can touch your body with love.
Yeah.
Perhaps there are places on your body that you've learned not to touch, and they are beautiful and sacred too.
Michelle?
Touch your whole body with love.
Jennifer?
Can you feel it coming to life?
Thank you so much. So I'm going to take these one at a time because these are so important. You must learn to love your body. And we can, just like Michelle was saying, we can. It's totally possible. And then she's giving us a practice here. First of all, look at it with love. And that actually is a practice. It's like we have trained ourselves, many of us, not all of us, but many of us have trained to look with criticism. We look for what's wrong. And this is actually a practice to look with love as opposed to criticism and judgment. So that's the first instruction. And then she takes it further. This can be done in front of a mirror as an actual practice. And this is going to be one of our practices this week. So we're going to, based on this, I am going to suggest that everyone take this on as a regular practice throughout the week. And maybe you'll even want to continue it beyond there. And what I'm going to suggest is that you stand in front of a mirror nude so that you really can look at your whole self and look at yourself with love in front of a mirror. You might even want to say, I love you, if that feels authentic. Or you can say, I love you, to see what comes up when you say that. You can just do it as something to get feedback from. And what might come up is the parts of you that don't feel that way. And that can give you more information about what parts of you may need more love, you may need to focus on and love and nurture even more. She says you can touch your body with love. And that's the next phase of this, is beyond looking at it with love, is to take it into touching with love. And so this is an extension of what I hope that you were doing last week as the practice, where we said in meditation to be touching your body and sending love through your touch. And now to do it in conjunction with, first of all, really being unclothed. So it's your physical body in its natural state, and that full connection with looking at your body and touching it. Perhaps there are places on your body that you've learned not to touch, and they are beautiful and sacred too. And for many of us, this especially has to do with genitals, where we might have gotten messages. Many of us got messages as children, when we touched our genitals, which is one of the most natural things for children to do. And the adults might have said, because they were uncomfortable about us touching ourselves or other people seeing us touching ourselves, they might have told us not to do that, or told us that was bad or dirty or sinful. And also they may have been trying to socialize us so that we would be able to fit into society and be protected and, be accepted by society. So they may have even been consciously had intentions of trying to support us, but out of that, many of us heard the message that we should never touch that part of our body, and it was dirty or taboo or whatever. And so these are places that you might need to put extra focus on. It's okay to touch every part of your body. Every single part is beautiful and sacred. So again, she's just re-emphasizing, touch your whole body with love. And this can be part of the practice, even to start at your head and just cover your whole body and really feel yourself giving love to your whole body. And she's suggesting that the result is going to be bringing incredible life and aliveness to ourselves and to our body through doing this. So again, I just want to open it up if there's anything anyone wants to share about what might come up for you when you hear any part of this.
You know what? I love this so much because it's so simple and like so profound at the same time. And I feel like because we're so in our minds all the time, and when we say like, you must learn to love your body, and everyone's like, how do we do it? Like, how do we do it? And then you just read this and it's like, oh yeah, like it's simple when you do it. And I love that.
I so agree. One of the images for me is that it's like becoming like a child.
Yeah, like really innocent and just like, oh, like this is my body. Like I love it.
That's right. Or even if you think of a really tiny child, like an infant, an infant, when they're lying on their back in their crib and they're like learning, they're suddenly discovering their body. And it's like an incredible discovery process. And think of the miracle of your body. Our bodies are complete miracles.
Oh, it's amazing. And it's interesting too, because when you were saying about like our genitals, when I'll never forget this, when my son, I think he was like 5 years old, and he had an electric toothbrush. And one day I go in the bathroom and he has this like toothbrush on his penis. And he's like, Mommy, this feels so good. And I'm like, and because I'm like, okay. And I was like, yeah, it does feel good, but we need to keep that in our, like, we don't want to use our toothbrush for that. But it was just like so innocent. And I think like, how many times that happens and parents are like, like many kids experience shame around that. And
it's
so, yeah, so big.
So huge. I love working with parents in this area because there's so much that can be done differently with our children. And it all comes down to first healing ourselves. This is exactly what comes up for parents, because anything that's not healed in ourselves, when we see it in our children, it's going to come up in spades. And it's a reflection of us.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
You reminded me of one of my earliest childhood memories. I remember being 2 years old and pleasuring myself, and my mother coming in and moving my hand away from my genitals and going, "We don't do that in this family."
Oh.
And it was a total like, okay, I got it. 2 years old, it was crystal clear. If I want to be loved and accepted, never let anyone see me touching my genitals. I was old enough at that point to know it's okay to be secret. As long as nobody catches me, it's okay. But it was the first message. There's something the matter with this. Yeah. Anyone else have anything they'd like to share?
Yeah, I see a big difference between the seeing and the touching. The touching is easy, and I don't have, I did it last week with the meditation, and it's easy to touch with love, let's say, and myself too. It's harder to look at myself with love. It's interesting.
I can understand that, because we're a very visually oriented society, and we have so many messages about what perfect is. And if you want to be loved, you better be perfect. Every magazine, it's like, TV, Media City is always projecting this to us of what we should look like. It's very visual. And I imagine that that's a big part of it. So what I would recommend is do the touching part first. And then on the basis of that, practice just looking. And if you continue with it, and again, I really suggest if it feels right to you to bring in, I love you. And you might even say different parts of your body. I love you face. I love you breasts. I love you butt. I love you legs. I love you belly, whatever it is, to do that. And it will change if you persist.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
I felt some apprehension, so that what you just explained, there's a shift that I don't feel as scared to approach it. So thank you.
Wonderful. And really listen to your body. And if your body is saying, I'm scared, we take care of it. What does it need to be safe? And maybe there's healing you need to do even before you start this practice. Or, maybe there's something else that, you can do that will give you the safety that you need. So if there's, a feeling coming up, listen to the inner divine quality behind that feeling, and then really find out what steps you can take, what in-life actions that can support you so that your body says yes, because that's really important to listen. Anyone else?
Yeah, that was helpful actually, just because I do have a tendency to kind of power through things, usually to the detriment of my body.
Right.
And so it's just a good reminder to listen.
Right, and that's another one. You might want to just start with one part of your body. Maybe you just start with your face, or maybe you just start with whatever feels right to you. And then you expand out from there. So there's all different ways you can work with this, that I encourage you to keep working with it. And if you're having troubles with it, if you really find it's difficult and you want to work, you have questions for me, feel free to email me during this week and we can dialogue, or make use of the Facebook group because other people may be having the same experiences, if you feel safe to talk about it in that venue. So I definitely encourage you to do that too. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next one, and whoever is next, please begin the reading again.
How about I'll go?
Hi,
Oh, go ahead.
I'll read it. I see it now.
Great.
You are a sacred healer as you transmit love.
Thank you. I'm so happy you read that one. Thank you. Okay, Joy, you want to go next?
You can heal your shame and your separateness from yourself and your own body with love.
And Maria?
Through bringing your love to your body, you release the blocks and negative messages, and once again let your light shine through your physical form.
Michelle? Might need to unmute.
Sorry. True beauty is of the light.
Jennifer?
It's not about the composition of the form.
And Raj Inder?
The form is a medium for conducting light.
Thank you all. So here is my second favorite image. You are a sacred healer as you transmit love. So she's talking about really taking on the role of sacred healer as you do this with yourself. And some of us, feel more connected to that role of being a sacred healer, and others of us maybe haven't explored that as much. But lots of times we think of it in relationship to others. But this is in relationship to ourselves, and we all have that capacity to be a sacred healer. We can heal our shame and our separateness from ourself and our own body with love. So once again, she's affirming, we can do this. We can heal. And through bringing your love to your body, you release the blocks and the negative messages. And once again, let your light shine through your physical form. So this is the outcome. As we release these blocks, as we release these messages that are holding us back from being our true open selves, the result is light. Our inner light shining through our physical form. And that to me is a gorgeous image. I immediately think of Yeshua as a wonderful, my example, my image of inner light shining through physical form. And she's saying this can be true of all of us. And then she goes on to say, true beauty is of the light. It's not about the composition of the form. And here I feel like she's really talking about this shift from 3D to 4D. Because in 3D, we see that it's about the form. It's about the physical form. And, something is beautiful because of the physicality of it. But in 4D, we start to look at light. And we're starting to see our light body. And she says that's what true beauty is. It's of the light. And then finally, the form, the physical form, is a medium for conducting light. Which I think this is a very different way of looking at our physical body than most of us tend to think of it. It's like our body is a vessel for conducting light, for bringing light out into the world through us. That lights me up. And I love that image and really want to encourage everyone to practice this to the deepest level you're able, that your physical body is a medium for conducting light. So this is where I want to end these readings from Mary Magdalene Beckens. And I just want to give one last time, is there anything about any part of this anyone would like to share, this last group of messages?
For me, the sacred healer part is always attractive, but healing someone else, not myself. And so it's been a theme, that I really need to look at myself. So it's just kind of another confirmation of that. Thanks.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I think it's going to be easy to see the beauty in the light if I see myself as light.
So this might help you with the visual part, yeah?
Yeah.
Yay!
We'll see. I'll practice.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. So I'm going to go out of this mode. We're going to go back to seeing each other and pictures of each other. Hi, everybody. And give me just a moment here to get situated. Here's what I want. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is play the second video. And some of you have already seen this video. This is the video I posted on the Facebook page of I Love Your Body. And this is another level. This is a man talking to women about how he sees the beauty of women's bodies in particular. And I have learned that men have issues with their bodies too. It's not just a women's issue, but especially in our culture, it tends to be much more deeply embedded with women. And then there's a whole nother aspect of how men see us that tends to be more of a women's issue than a man's issue. That can be another layer of shame that we feel about our body, or challenge that we feel in relationship to our body, is how men see our bodies. And because we've been very trained and programmed that it's very important, how men see our bodies. And that has been something that's been challenging or painful for many women. So I offer this video as a different way of seeing what's possible, a different way of holding the masculine view, which could be your inner masculine view towards your feminine body. So I would like to this is about an 8-minute video, so I'd like to take 8 minutes and watch this together, and then just comment again about what came up for you as you watch this video. And hopefully I'm going to do better this time with the video sharing. So give me just a moment to make sure that it is called up. And I think it's ready to go, so let's give it a try. So here I go back into this.
I love your body. I love that scar on your skin. You're such a perfectly imperfect woman. I can stare at it for hours. I love kissing your scar. I love the feel of your scar on my tongue. I love your body. I love the smell of your body in the morning or after a long day. I want to smell you. Your body, your sweat, your BO. I love it. It turns me on. It relaxes me. Don't shower before you come to make love with me. I don't want to smell your deodorant, even if it's natural and cruelty-free and organic and ethical and made by virgin nuns in the Amazons. It's you that I want to smell. I love your smell. I love your body. I love your belly. Take that photo of the woman with the six-pack abs off your vision board. I don't want that. I want your soft, protruding belly. Breathe into your belly. Let it expand. You're a woman. You have a belly. Let your belly be round and soft and relaxed. I love your body. I love how tall you are. Yes, I'm shorter than you. Don't crouch when you hug me. Don't make yourself small for anyone. I don't want an A-frame hug. I want to feel your whole body when we hug, even if my head is against your neck or the pit of your shoulder. And then when we lie down, there is no taller and shorter, and I'm holding all of you in my arms. I love how tall you are. Stand tall. Walk tall. You were born to stand out. I love your body. I love how small you are. I can see and feel your beautiful power and strength in this small body. Celebrate and enjoy how small you are. There are so many men around who are admiring you because you are small, petite. And finally I can hug someone to my chest. I love your body. I love your small breasts. They are such a turn on. Stop trying to adhere to porn and the media's ideals of breast size and shape. You don't need to wear a bra. Can you be happy with that? So your nipples show. So what? That's so beautiful. Or you can just wear a crop top. I love your small breasts. They will not sag. They don't hurt when you run or jump. And did you know that women with small breasts are more sensitive? So enjoy your breasts. I love your body. I love your big, full breasts. I salivate when I look at your breasts. They kiss my chest when I hug you or when you lie on top of me. They melt my hands as I hold them. So you're getting lots of attention. Can you accept that? Can you enjoy that? I love your body. I love your voluptuous curves. I love your juicy thighs. I love your gorgeous, abundant waists. I love your wide hips. I love your big ass. Yes, you have a big ass, and I adore it. I love your body. I love how elegantly slim you are. If this is how you naturally are, I love that. I love your hip bones sticking out of your belly. I love your slim, long arms and legs and thigh gap. I love how easily I can lift you in the air. I love watching your rib cage and your long neck and your small, cute ass. I love your body. I love your skin. You feel self-conscious about your cellulite. I just see cute dimples. Why do you think you need to look like some photoshopped anorexic model? You hate those spots on your skin. I love them. So you have pimples. I love you and your body, including the pimples. I love your body. I love your breasts. You say you wish your breasts were at their glory when you were 20 or when you were pregnant. You have said that they are sagging. But I look at your breasts and I see the evidence of you feeding and nurturing a child, 2 children, 3 children, for years. I love your breasts. And I love how sensitive your nipples are after having been sucked for years. Your breasts are alive. They are like living entities, singing in my hands and in my mouth. I love your body. I love your stretch marks. They remind me of the life you carried inside you for 9 months. Your stretch marks are like art. No, they are art. Your body is art. I love looking at your stretch marks. I follow them. I love your body. I love looking at your face when you wake up. No makeup, no lotions, just your natural, beautiful skin with its freckles and blemishes and lines and spots. Yes, I also love it when you express your feminine with your makeup. But do it because you want to play, not because you feel you need to hide anything. I love your wrinkles. They are the traces of you smiling and laughing and crying and frowning and being alive on this earth for more than 30 years. I love your gray hairs. There is wisdom in each one. I love your body. I love your thick eyebrows and hairy armpits and your abundant pubic bush. I love how people see that and get triggered. You are a natural woman, a wild woman, a real woman. I love burying my face in your bush and feeling how it tickles me. I love looking at your bush and seeing your lips hidden underneath. I love your body. I love your waxed, shaved, smooth skin. I love the texture and feel of your skin. I love looking at your pussy and seeing everything. I love the sensation of your smooth skin against my lips. I love your body. I love your pussy. I love your protruding inner lips that porn doesn't approve of. I love your tiny inner lips. I love how your clit is hidden for me to rediscover and delight her. I love how your clit is showing off, saying, "Here I am." I love your asymmetrical lips, your different skin-colored lips, your young pussy, your postpartum pussy. I love your body. I celebrate you. I enjoy you. I appreciate you. I worship your feminine form in all its expressions. I love your body. You don't need to love your body because a man loves your body. But can you allow yourself to accept a man's love and appreciation of your body? Can you allow yourself to love your own body? Is it finally time to love and accept yourself as you are? This is Eyal Matzliach, sexual empowerment coach, speaker, and author. Find me at intimatepower.com. And
Wow.
Say more. Anyone else? What came up for you hearing that?
That was fun.
Yay! I like that.
Yeah, I love that. I watched it in the Facebook group and was like, oh, like I love it so much. And I love that it's coming from a man. And I love how he just picks up everything that like a woman would think was a flaw and just makes it so beautiful. Mm.
Thank you. Anyone else?
This is Rajender. I felt some kind of comfort that it was coming from a man. I was kind of analyzing myself a little bit, listening to him, wondering about that. But I observed that.
Perhaps you received other messages from men, and this is reassuring you that men can have this point of view and this kind of acceptance. Does that feel, does that resonate for you?
I'm not sure, possibly.
Okay.
I'm gonna meditate on it a little bit.
Great. And I strongly recommend that people take in the possibility that this could be your inner masculine, speaking just this way to your feminine. And in the notes for this week, I will include the link to this video. If you aren't part of the Facebook group, which I encourage everyone to be part of the Facebook group, but if you aren't yet or aren't making use of Facebook, you'll have this and you can find it through YouTube. It actually just got posted on YouTube 2 days ago, so just in time for our class this week. Yay! Okay, so what I want to do for the last part of our class here is I want to do a guided meditation, and a very brief guided meditation. This is going to be about a 5-minute guided meditation, and this is going to be one of our practices, our meditation practices for this week. But I want to do it first together and talk about afterwards what we experienced, and then at the very end we'll go over what our practices are for this week. So I want to give you a minute for everybody to get settled into your meditation asana. Okay. And I suggest that you allow your eyes to close. And we're going to begin with relaxing your belly, letting your breath drop all the way down to your root chakra at the base of your pelvis. Relax your shoulders, allowing your chest and heart region to open. Relax the back of your neck and your jaw so that your head is balanced on the top of your spine. And relax all the muscles of your legs, especially the large muscles at the tops of the legs. So there's a feeling of connection between the soles of your feet and the crown of your head. And then placing your awareness at your heart, we're going to take 3 breaths as though we're breathing from our heart. Breathing in with your heart. And then breathing out and releasing anything you wish to release at this time. And again, breathing in from your heart. Exhale, release. And once more, breathing in from your heart. And exhale, release. And then relax your breathing. Let it come and go on its own natural rhythm. And begin to visualize a smile at your heart, as though your heart were smiling. And then see this smile radiating out in all directions from your heart. Let this smile at your heart become strong and deep. Now continue this heart radiating smile and shift your focus to your root chakra. Visualize a red tree at your root chakra. See the roots of this red tree going down through your legs, feet, through the soles of your feet into the earth, spreading its roots out deep into the earth. See the branches spreading up and out from your root chakra to your body. Let this become strong and deep. And now, feel the connection between your heart chakra and your root chakra. With your heart smiling, radiating out in all directions, and your root chakra tree going down into the earth and up through your body. The two being connected. Allow this connection to continue as long as you're able, and gently bring yourself back to our virtual circle and classroom, reopening your eyes and coming back to our space. And when you're ready, I invite anyone who feels moved to share what you experienced in that guided meditation.
I found it easy to connect from the heart to the root chakra. So when you said, take a deep breath with your heart and release the air, then it went down to my root chakra. So it was good.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to share their experience?
I didn't find it so easy to connect the two. The smiling helped kind of activate both or recognize both, but then the connection was really slow, and it felt like two kind of coils, like snakes, but one grew stronger, but then the other one was like not, the other coil was not like active. And it got a little, the second coil got a little stronger, but one was definitely, and again, it was like very much like a twisting rather than originally I thought like maybe it would be more of a, like a straight line or an easy, does that make sense? Versus a, I don't know, I keep on getting this image of the coiled snakes. I mean, that's what it felt like. So, and then it was fatter. It was fatter towards the coils were fatter or larger on the root, and then they were thinner by the heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I suggest that you allow your experience as opposed to any way you think that it should.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you're struggling during the practice this week, ask your angel to help you.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share their experience?
I just always like this feeling of being rooted, and I wasn't able to hold it for very long, but sort of the smile was more like, I don't know, like sunshine on the tree, or you know, kind of a feeling like that. Yeah, thanks.
Wonderful. And as you practice it through the week, that may grow so that you're able to rest in that for a longer period.
That's helpful, thanks.
Anyone else?
Hi, it's Rajender. Initially, I had a little fear about doing it. And then the smile in the heart was good. But then to bring the smile down, that's when I felt the fear. And then the longer we did it, it was sort of like just feeling neutral. And then closer to the end, I could bring the smile to the root. So that was kind of cool process.
Yes, thank you. I feel excited to hear your progression.
Thank you. I got really, really deeply into meditation. I'm a little spaced out right now.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing in that space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I'm going to have to listen to I was like deep in the meditation and my computer died. And then I was like, what happened? So I missed the end. So I'm going to have to do it again, which I'll listen to the recording. So sorry.
Great. And in the notes, it'll be written out too, the meditation.
Okay. Thank you.
Everyone will receive that for following. So let's go right into that, because the last thing I want to share here, and I'm going to go back to the screen sharing, is what our practice is going to be here. So this is what we just did, and this you'll also receive in the notes. We started with some bodily relaxation, opening down to your root chakra, relaxing your belly. And then we did the 3 breaths from the heart. And then we went into this with visualizing a smile radiating out in all directions from your heart. And then continuing that smile, but shifting your focus to your root chakra and visualizing the red tree with the roots going down and the branches going up. And then thirdly, feeling the connection between your heart chakra and root chakra. So this is going to be the first daily meditation practice. And there's going to be 2 practices for meditation this week. And you can combine them however you want. You can do them both in each meditation, or you could alternate where you do one day do this meditation and one day do the other one. Whatever feels right to you. So follow your guidance, but try to do at least 2 times of each, during the week, so you get more than once of each one. So this is the second daily meditation, and this is going from the practice, from the reading that we did at Mary Magdalene Beckons, of first standing naked in front of a mirror, Relaxing your belly, let your breath drop all the way down into your pelvis and root chakra and feeling your root chakra. And then touching your whole body with love. And we added looking at your body. And that's not actually in here so much, but that you can definitely add that in. Touching your whole body with love as a sacred healer to release your blocks and negative messages and let your light shine through your physical form. And you want to touch slowly and lovingly. And then this is a little refinement, step 4. Touch the areas that are calling to you to be touched and that want to receive your love, blessing, and healing. And if there are any areas that don't tend to receive your touch or that you have resistance to touching, gently and lovingly explore touching those areas as you feel ready. So the important thing here is not overriding yourself, listening to yourself and working with what's right for you and being guided by your body rather than overriding your body. And then noticing what you experience. So these 2 meditations and the following 3 things, all of that I will send out tomorrow as part of the notes and practices. So you'll have this to work with all week. So then 3 parts to the weekly practice. The first one is that I'm not sure how long ago this was, but there was a blog post from Mary Magdalene, a channeling on healing body shame. So I'm going to send everyone the link to that post so that you can reread it because it's so pertinent to what we're going over in this week with healing body shame. The second weekly practice is just randomly throughout the week to continue to tune into your root chakra and notice whatever you notice of your root chakra. Is it open or closed? Can you allow it to open if that's what it wants? Again, not overriding it, but working with it together. And then finally, sometime this week, having your meeting with your practice buddy and discussing your experiences again of your root chakra and of this meditation practice of healing body shame. And also the other meditation practice too of connecting the heart and the root chakra. Any questions about all of that? Okay. Then you have your assignment if you should choose to accept it. And with that, I invite everybody to unmute yourself and for all of us to share a goodbye together until next week. And again, remembering we do have the Facebook group and I love when people share there and that we connect around this material together. So I encourage people to make use of that. So with that final reminder.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.